Oh yeah, also Unreal 5.6 preview came out. So I just wanted to see what's up in Unreal 5.6. Not that I'm using it right now, but you know. Yeah. Unreal 6 when? I actually think they release an update every 6 months, roughly, right? We're at Unreal 5.6, which is probably going to be out for the entirety of 2025. And we'll probably see an update during 2026, which would be 5.7. 5.7 and then 5.8. 2027, 5.9. We might very well see UE6 after 5.9. I don't know how to feel about that. I have conflicting emotions. I have very conflicting emotions. Yeah. Is this the feature list? I think so. I think this is the up-to-date roadmap. So we got things like some optimizations for Lumen hardware, some render parallelization stuff that I don't understand. A better GPU profiler? Hey, better GPU profiler. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Basically seems like they want to put everything into one spot, which is cool. Yeah. Virtual shadow maps. I'll probably never use this. Maybe in the far 10 years from now future. Some first-person rendering stuff, which I actually don't know if I would use that either. I don't know. It's cool, though. There you go. How's it going? Yeah, UE6. It's coming. I actually genuinely think they are probably going to release UE6 in 2027. Or late 2027. Some character and animation stuff, which is neat. Let's see. Retarget operator stack. Converted to a stack of operations that can be reordered. Oh, this expands the IK retargeted to have custom operation for better art directable behaviors. Interesting. Very non-destructive kind of workflow. I don't know what the retargeting process is like in UE5. I really don't know. I know they provide you some of the files in templates, and I still don't understand how they work. But I am glad that they're making some adjustments and fixes to it and continuous improvements to retargeting. And I like the idea of operators, or I guess like Blender modifiers, but for retargeting. I think that's pretty cool. Very cool. Thoughts on difference between amateur game makers and UE6? Or I guess you say UE5 and an experienced programmer such as yourself. Is it optimization advantage? I wouldn't say I'm an experienced programmer. I might just I just know more than the general artist. Programming is not the only, like, when you're making stuff using programming, I would say that is not the only department of optimization. Like there's so many things you need to optimize. It comes from the CPU and the GPU. CPU, a lot of it does come down to programming. Can also be VFX. But there's also the GPU to worry about, right? The GPU being things like materials, tech art, all that kind of stuff. So it's like, I wouldn't say I'm very good at optimization either when it comes to my code. I'm nowhere near where I would like to be in that level. I like this. I just saw this. This reminds me so much of Blender, which is great. I like this. You can select multiple boxes. I hope this is across all. I hope this is across all parts of the engine, not just this fucking UI. The one thing that really annoys me with UE is sometimes they make improvements in one UI and then it doesn't cross over to other sections, even though they're very similar to each other. So I hope that I hope this isn't just animation, but also like other places as well, right? Like if I go to my transforms here, I guess it doesn't really make sense how it's structured here because it's, but still, that would be really nice if I could just select all of these. That would be cool. I'm not able to remember blueprint nodes. How do I remember this? You just keep using them. It's muscle memory. You just keep using them. Just keep using them. Give me property access and normal blueprints. That would be cool. Property access and normal blueprints would be cool. I don't know what kind of performance impact that could have. But we have it in the animation blueprint. Why is it that we can't have it somewhere else? Would probably make some of the code look a lot cleaner. You know, Golden, playing the new Doom right now. Hope you're enjoying it. Thing I hate about UIs is that they like to do their own thing rather than following other programs. In some ways, yeah, in some ways. But they also do try to keep a little bit of consistency at times. I think the problem is that all departments like animation and rendering and everything, they're all different departments. Like they're different people working on it. Like the UX and UI designers are like doing different things in each place. And that is if they even have any UI/UX designers. Is it too familiar if I call you Leaf as a joke? Why? Because I'm Canadian? Krim, weren't you going to play the new Doom 2? I'm not going to lie. If I were to play a Doom game, I would just rather play through Doom Eternal. I was watching gameplay of the new Doom, and I think from a gameplay standpoint, I think I prefer Doom Eternal. Just from watching it specifically. That's not off too much to go off of, but... some landscape stuff. World bookmarks is a system to help navigation within a level and across multiple worlds while working in the editor. New dedicated world. Interesting. So are these just different views? Oh, very cool. They're different views, but they also keep track of FOV and all these other things. Interesting. So it's kind of like the bookmarks that you have, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, blah, 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 blah. Streaming performance. Overall improved when streaming in/out content of the world at runtime. Very cool. Some of this stuff is experimental from the looks of it. Interesting. Got some PCG stuff in here too. Sampling directly on GPU. Okay, okay. Man, I still have yet to use PCG, but it definitely looks like something I would love to get into and learn. Developer iteration, probably never going to look into that. It's not my thing. Audio, cool. Some audio insight stuff, very cool. I'm enjoying the game so far. Hey, hell yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. if I were to play a Doom game, because I haven't played any of the newest ones, nor have I played any old Doom games, I'm going to be completely upfront. I'd probably just play, I'd at least play Doom Eternal first. Framework. Simplified mass processor. This reduces the boilerplate code, improves readability. Interesting. We just need, dude, we need some, I would love to get into mass, but I would need some fucking documentation to read. The Mover plugin. AI integration, animation support, and performance improvements. With robust support for AI systems, including MASH, NavMash, and pathfinding based. I like Doom 2016. I have felt no strong desire to play any of the ones after it. I feel like Doom Eternal is like a step up of Doom 2016, but obviously there are new mechanics that come in that kind of go real crazy. Like, I want to say the grappling hook, or the hook, is a Doom Eternal thing. I think there's a lot more movement mechanics in Doom Eternal versus Doom 2016. Animation integration is also being expanded. The plugin now better supports the Unreal Animation Framework, root motion-based movement, and complex character setups. Very cool. Scale with larger crowds. We're introducing a threaded simulation that allows the Mover plugin to run asynchronously off the game thread? What? Okay. That's big. Compared to the character movement component, this is huge. Input gathering and simulation are now decoupled, enabling concurrent movement updates across many actors. While this threading model is currently limited to single-player context, it lays important groundwork for future support in network scenarios. Very cool. Dude, I'm keeping a close eye to Mover. I'm definitely keeping a close eye to Mover. Gameplay cameras. As the camera system evolves, it brings along new powerful features for gameplay and cinematic workflows. Interesting. Decouple this. State tree task control flow. Yeah, very cool. Navigation system support and mass. Interesting, very cool. Hope all is great. Yeah, it's going pretty well so far. State tree UX and workflow improvements. Dude, I'm looking forward to trying out State tree. State tree scheduled ticks and performance. No, support scheduled ticking. Cool. Iris. I still don't understand what the fuck Iris does. I'm gonna be honest. I still don't understand what Iris does for networking. Some VFX stuff. Chaos Cloth. What did they do with the cloth? Change from 5.5 to 5.6 cloth resizing. Added kinematic collider. It's a physics asset. Cloth constraints. Unified data flow editor and support for variables. Cool. Outfit asset. Cool. UV scaling / warping. Cool. Velocity scale / improvements. Oh, right, because the cloth uses a node-based structure now, doesn't it? Or you can use that. Ours is a redesign of replication, basically, not production ready as far as I know. UE6 is going to be a little bit chaotic for all developers because there's going to be so many things that are just going to be different. And I hope that they take that into account and hopefully they, you know, try to keep some of the workflows similar to an extent while still improving the overall, you know, thing that they want to improve, right? Because I'm just now starting to figure out like how, you know, I'm starting to learn replication and all that kind of stuff and networking and whatnot. So having to switch over to a different system in the future could be pretty chaotic. What is Chaos Core? Chaos is continuing undergoing updates. I would love for the chaos destruction system to have a like a real-time authoring system. I know that sounds stupid, but like, what if you specified something as glass? You didn't have to create the chaos asset for it, and it, because it's classified as glass, if it were to ever get damaged, it would just shatter, just like anything. I think Source Engine has that. I think. What kind of glass? Like any kind of glass, like windows, car glass. Mostly tempered glass, I guess. Just any kind of tempered glass, because that would probably be the easiest thing to destruct or whatnot. Now, obviously, if you were to do like windshield glass, that'd be like probably a whole different thing. Oh, right, the editor. The content browser has been redesigned to enhance the organization of viewing of assets. Redesigned, huh? God, it looks bad. God, I don't like that. Like, why? Why these buttons here? Why this thing not aligned with that thing? Why this button over here? Does it mean I have to relearn everything? Nah, it just means it's gonna look ugly. In my opinion, this just looks really ugly. In addition, it now works seamlessly in both horizontal and vertical. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I don't use these buttons. And then having a fab button there is fucking just, I don't care. Like, maybe I care, but I don't really care that much to have a button in my content browser at all times. Crimson getting offended by slight interface changes. I know. Like, this also pisses me off because, like, they went and flipped everything. So they flipped all of this stuff, or some of this stuff. Like, they flipped it. They put this here and then put that here. Like, look, like, they had the marketplace button for ages. They had the add/import button here, but I like it in this corner and this being its own kind of region. Like, this looks nice and neat. Now I'm gonna have to like have all these fucking buttons that I don't really care about. I'd rather just be like this clean. These buttons could be on like the left side here. That's very visual clutter. Like, it feels kind of claustrophobic, all these fucking buttons in one spot. I hope they make it so we can disable this. Either that or maybe I disable it myself or something. But this, I don't understand why. I don't understand why we're flipping this. But I guess. I don't like the new toolbar. I really like the transparent one, personally. I really like the transparent one. And then it becomes opaque when you hover over. Like, maybe that's the same with this one. Maybe it becomes transparent. The viewport toolbar has been updated for faster, more intuitive access to key settings like camera controls, view modes, and scalability options. The toolbar now resizes dynamically, ensuring the most relevant tools are displayed even with a small viewport size. Editor modes like the selection mode or modeling mode now have section menus, and their quick access tools directly integrated into the viewport toolbar. Asset editors also benefit from the new design for a consistent toolbar experience across the Unreal Editor. I think that's why they did it. Is they needed to overhaul this toolbar to support different editor modes. I think that's why they ended up doing this whole change up. But there's a lot of clutter. Like, this is a lot of clutter. Yeah. Meh. I know I'm being picky, but like, listen, I stare at this shit for 10 hours every day. I just want to make sure, like, I just want it to look at it and not feel overwhelmed or annoyed at how, like, the UI is structured. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's pretty important when you're working with something for such a long period of time. I can probably get used to this, and I understand why they probably did this. I don't know why they keep changing the content browser, though. I don't know why they keep changing it. I'm not a huge fan of this. Maybe it's to decouple these buttons from the left side or something? I don't know. I don't know. I never use these buttons. And why is there a save all button? Like I guess there's a save all button here, but it's like it's like close to the edge where I just don't really care about it. I don't know. I guess even this version of the UI like is also look at this. Like we have this line here, but then the line over here. It's not, nothing's aligned with each other. Like, why couldn't they just do this? Why couldn't they just fit all these buttons on like the left side, right? Left side, and then just keep this shit aligned with everything else. So then that way the search bar is also aligned with it. Like, why couldn't, I don't know. It's, okay, sorry, I'm being picky. It's just me being picky. Bunch of media stuff, or VP stuff. Don't really care about media or VP personally. Yeah, cool. Bit of Avo. Built my new computer runs so much smoother than my old thing from 2012. I would assume that's how that would work. That's 13 years right there. That's 13 years. What the hell, man? 5 push-ups. Jeez. Ow. Sorry. Oh. Wow. All right, let's get to work. It's been 30 minutes. Well, we looked at what's in UE6 preview, what they plan on putting in for UE6. Just trying to make a simple puzzle game. I don't need most of these tools. Yeah, like the thing with UE that's great is a lot of the time, 90% of the features you could just ignore if you don't need them. You know what I mean? Trying to fix my Sony XM5 headphones after they broke yesterday. Not gonna working on this shit's really complicated. I've had these Sennheisers for a while now. I love these. I get no pain on my head. Sometimes it feels like I'm not even wearing headphones. I think the one thing I don't like is they're fully open. Like I can hear everything outside. But I guess that's kind of good for me with my microphone because I don't have playback. I haven't had playback in my microphone for, I don't know, 10 years now. So I'm punching everyone who claims 4K with like 50% internal res looks better than 1440p with a much higher sample per pixel count. It's almost as if they want jagged edges or undefined edges. I can't ignore features because of FOMO. I don't feel that at all, man. Personally, I don't feel that at all. Are we getting FRU? What is FRU? Forward, right, up? Oh, you fuck off with that, okay? Don't remind me about forward, right, up. Oh my god. I'm switching to Godot. I'm switching to Godot. I can't fucking take this shit anymore. I'm gonna puke. You made me sick. How dare you remind me about forward, right, up, update. How dare you remind me of that shit? What a waste of resources. Why is that even a thing? No one asked for that. Oh, I'm getting mad. I'm getting real mad. Getting real mad. I'm getting real mad. Game dev quits his game just before launch to switch to Godot. Brother, if I switch, okay, honestly, if I switch engine, I'm not going to be switching engine. I'm going to just be switching career altogether. Listen, if I have to switch engine because I'm fucking getting sick of, I'll just use an older version and probably just juice the fuck out of it. That's why I need to learn C++, so I can just juice up my own Unreal Engine editor. I'll call it the Crimson Editor. The Crim Editor. The Crim Editor. The Crim Editor. Yeah. The God Mode Editor. Yeah. Unlike John Nanite, I actually went and forked the GitHub. Has he started that fork, by the way? Has he... The Crimogen. Yeah, the first Crimogen. Yeah. Sounds like a gateway to finishing my game engine streams. I think the beauty about forking the Unreal Engine is that most of it is going to be me editing the engine and still being able to use it for the most part. There's no such thing as like finishing it because it's already like got a lot of the things that I need to get things done. You know what I mean? It's more so just trying to improve it. It's not like I would start from scratch like a lot of people do when they make an engine or use a framework or whatever. It would just be me using something that's already existing and then just juicing it for my needs. DLAA removes my desire for 4K. I think I played with DLAA in did I use DLAA in Arc Raiders? I think I did, right? Okay, resetting from checkpoint after checkpoint 0 with dual deagle ultimate does not reset the ultimate. Okay. Let's get into a level so we can test that out. I should probably hide that edge there with some hills or some. Good Uday, how's it going? Let's do slow-mo 1, walk. Okay, let's go in here. I don't know why we're building a bunch of mesh distance fields and stuff. So we use the ultimate. Okay, so we have the ultimate, all good. Then we reset the checkpoint, and we still have the ultimate. So the ultimate does not reset at all. So, okay, so now we have our little reproduction set. I believe this is just a pause menu thing. I don't think that occurs when we die, but let's double check. What I want to see is when we die, do we have 2 deagles in our hands? No. Okay, we just have 1. So it just happens when we're resetting from checkpoint. That's it. I think I crashed the engine. Unreal! Unreal! Hey, how's it going? What the hell? Hey, Sledding, thanks for the raid. Thank you. Hello. Hey, you joined at perfect time. I just, oh, wait, no, we're fine. Joined at a perfect time. And luckily that didn't crash. How's it going? How'd the stream go, guys? Fun? It was good? Hey, hell yeah. Hell yeah. What was going on? Fill me in. In 1 sentence. Less than a sentence. Write it like a tweet. Actually, write it like a tweet like it's 2012. Q&A? Alright, okay. Very cool, very cool. Frog in a cowboy hat. Alright, that's out of context. I'll just... Yeah, frog, cowboy hat. Yeah, I see it. How chubby we talking? Like a really chubby frog? Like... with tiny little cowboy hat. Oh, man. A tweet back then was 140 characters? That's crazy. Can you think about that? And nowadays everybody's writing essays in their tweets these days. That's wild. Where am I? So the problem's right here. Okay. Sorry for the spam. The stream is completely unrelated to yours, but I watched the stream for a while, so I figured I'd rate. Hey, thank you, Sledding. I appreciate that. And don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. What's a raid without a little bit of spam? You know what I mean? Yeah, I hope the stream went well. Appreciate it. Back in my day, we used Twitlonger for apologies and not ukulele. Nowadays, all you got to do is get Twitter Blue, and then you're writing an entire it's a blog. It's crazy. What's the game about? Here, let me show you some gameplay. It's a originally I would call it a top-down action shooter, but we added third person to it. Don't ask me why. I just felt like it. So yeah, it's just like an action shooter game thing. Yeah. The genre is action. Just action. All around action. We're working towards the 1.0 update, so we got this big list of bugs we need to fix. We got a big list of other things. It's this month for real. No, for real. Localization, a bunch of other things. Ignore the list. Ignore the list. It's coming out this month. For sure. It can't be June because June is the Steam summer sale. So we're going to be screwed if we have to release during June. Yeah. Yeah. Before GTA 6? Well, that is if like Rockstar doesn't suddenly say, hey, actually, we're going to take it back. It's not going to be 2026. It's actually going to be tomorrow. Like that would be crazy, right? That'd be wild. Okay, I think I know where the problem is. I think I know where the problem is. It's right here. The problem's right here. Ooh. We won't get it on PC till 2027 anyway, so who cares? True, actually, though. The exact opposite of it. Hitman is how I describe it. The funny thing is, with all of the new weapons and all the new weapons and all the cosmetics, honestly, the thing that's really funny about this game is that you could define it as, you can compare it to so many games. Just recently I learned about Specialists, which is like a mod for Half-Life. I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess that inspired Double Action Boogaloo, which I knew about. And then people were comparing Double Action Boogaloo and then also the Specialist mod, and then people were bringing up old Hitman, and then people were comparing it to obviously Max Payne. Some people were comparing it to there's a game called 99 Dragons or something 99 Dragons. Never heard of that game before. So it's kind of like, this game is everything. Yeah, this game is everything. It's just a bunch of everything. Drake of the 99 Dragons. Yeah, that. Yeah. They'll require 3 shark card sales to buy the base game. Nice. Classic. Classic. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. In the primary weapon, we should have a event called Disable Ultimate, and that should fix our problem. What the? I mentally referred to Sufra as the game John Wick Hex wants to be. I guess that's a way you could put it for sure. So we have Activate Ultimate, but what about Deactivate Ultimate? The couch even deforms under the character's weight. You thought horse testicles being realistic was a crazy detail. Wait until you see this guy's ass sit in the couch, and the couch actually goes, and then it's like, that's crazy, man. Rockstar's wild. They just do everything. I'm about to say a hot take. No, people are gonna hate me for this. No, never mind. I'll hold off. No, I was gonna say something really, like, you know. I was gonna roast Rockstar a little bit. Do it? You want me to say it? Why always so contrarian? All right, I'll say it. Rockstar can't come up with any fun gameplay, so they got to put in these shitty random details that nobody cares about. Yeah, I said it. Oh yeah, but. Oh man. Now the gameplay's fun. It's just, you know, driving, shooting, clicking a button to plant something, probably climbing a ladder, rolling, cutscenes. What is GTA? What is GTA? If you really think about it, like, if we think about games like Last of Us and GTA and all this stuff. I stole a car. I drove the car. I flipped the car. The car's on fire. Whoa! That's what you make of it, I guess. It's truly a sandbox at its core. It's a half joke, half like real take. In RDR2, all the clocks worked. That was neat. That's really cool, man. That's really cool. Anyways, I'm gonna work on this video game and hopefully put in things that are fun. I loved Last of Us for the story / characters, but I almost couldn't play Apocalypse waist high stealth cover shooter. Let's be real. If Last of Us didn't have a good story with likable characters and interesting stuff, what is it? Like, what is it really when you think about it? Like, I think Last of Us 2 is cool because it has gritty combat. Like, that's kind of neat. But if you think about like the other elements, it's kind of like, it's okay, I guess. Hot take: Last of Us is overrated and kind of ass. I would say it is overrated. I wouldn't say it ass, but It's very much overrated. Just like how Squid Game is extremely overrated and kind of shit. So yeah, pulling a lot of shots. There's a lot of people probably fuming at the ear. Hot take: Last of Us doesn't have a good story with likable characters. All right, listen. All right, contrarian. Okay. Squid Game is massively overrated. I think COVID got to everybody's brain and they're like, oh my god, a show that has like a little bit of something different. It's not even that different. Oh my god, oh, I'm gonna go crazy. The worms got to their brains. Last of Us was cool when it came out. I think it was a cool one when it came out at the time. It was neat for sure. Hey, thank you, Kalat. Have a good one. Thanks for dropping by. My stream is so destructive. I'm always over here fucking shooting at everything. Grim, do you think delaying GTA 6 release for a year is justified? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I'm not a dev. Who knows what they're working on, right? That's why the founders even got into game dev. They wanted to be criminals like they saw on TV growing up, according to a GTA deep dive video. I could see that. I could see that. Hot take: RE4 gameplay mogs The Last of Us 2. I feel like they're different in their own ways, but Resident Evil's pretty cool. So little to nothing is lost by removing the gameplay element. You could say that is basically what's the director's name of The Last of Us? What's his name? Something Druckmann? Something Druckmann? Jim Druckmann? Neil Druckmann. You could say, I feel like he has a similar development mindset as I feel like he has a similar developer mindset as Kojimbo. I feel like they have similar mindsets and that they treat it as a cinematic experience rather than a video game in some sense. And the video game is like secondary. He once said he was the Kojima of the West, and since then I haven't liked him. There you go. Well, I nailed it on the fucking head. Yeah. Kojima's nice though. Druckmann comes across as a giant douche. I don't know. I haven't looked into any of it. Here's a fucking good thing to do. Don't idolize anyone, and you'll never come across a problem where someone starts acting like an asshole, and it's like, well, now what? I don't know. I don't idolize anybody at all because I just don't think it's a good idea. Don't idolize me. I don't do the dishes. My partner does, and I'm really bad about it. I really should improve that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should be doing a lot more as a human being. I'm really bad at it. Where the fuck am I? I'm supposed to be in the Deagle. Wait, what? Oh, deactivate ultimate. Man, why did I have to name it like that? How dare you? I'm a bit of an asshole as well, to be fair. Maybe not Neil Druckmann level of asshole, but you know, I can be a bit of an asshole. I'm not very, you know, as you can tell, I'm not exactly the nicest person in the world. Activated. Me when I look at someone else's code while like working at a contract company, me looking at the function names, what the fuck is any of this, man? What is this? They're putting like symbols and shit in there. Don't we know how what Druckmann did? I don't know. I think he's I guess egotistical, I guess, right? He's got a bit of an ego, I suppose. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I just know that that's the overall thing. Neil, I didn't realize women were people until I had a daughter. There's no way that's an actual quote. There's no way he said that. There's no way. There's no way. That's fucking wild. You're pretty honest and your critiques are just commendable in my opinion. A side of assholes acceptable in such circumstances. I don't want to act like I'm, you know, I don't want to act like I have, like obviously there's a few things I could probably filter out when it comes to things I talk about on the stream, but I'd rather not be fake about it and stuff like that and rather just be upfront with you guys. And I think that's just more interesting, if anything. I just, you know, I'll just say it as it is. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and, you know, I'll own up to that. Player death event. We turn off the ult. We set the max ammo. We set the anime state to deagle. Reset the socket for the gun. Set the anim style. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Only fake thing about you is your release dates? Someone shoot that guy. With a paperclip gun. He really said that. I don't disagree with him, but like, that's what makes me sad is that I can't disagree with him. Yep. All right. Resetting for check about. Some strive to be legends. I don't want to be a legend. I just want to make a good ass game. You know what I mean? A good ass game that I can look at and be like, yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm sort of proud of this game. Not like fully. You know, I strive to be fully proud of a game where I could be like, yeah, that's sick. That's cool. I switched from YouTube to Twitch. Why is there background music on Twitch? If I put background music on YouTube, I'd get shot immediately, like within 5 seconds. Google would have a hand in a suit appear in front of me with a gun and would shoot me. And then I would be dead. So yeah. There's a couple people that I kind of look up to when it comes to game development, but I'm in the same sense that I don't really idolize anyone. I think it's don't go too far with it. Obviously, you can look up to people, right, as an inspiration. I think that's fine. I think for me, that's a problem for me where I've basically don't really have anybody that I look up to, which definitely has probably hindered my ability to progress as a game developer. But yeah. Just made my first ever web browser based game. I was wondering if you could test it and rate it 1 to 10. I don't really do that on this stream. If you have a YouTube video of the game, I'm down to watch that and whatnot, or screenshots. Just from a security standpoint, I don't play test anybody's game. Oh yeah, sorry. Even if it's copyright free, it's not copyright free. I literally let Spotify just go in. I let Spotify just kind of. Huge Sleep Token fan. I like Sleep Token. I just don't think I'd play it on stream just because I feel like not everybody would probably be into it, you know? And I get that. That's fine. shit my pants, I did. Mmm. Huh? Mm. Here's money from Bezos' pocket. Thank you. Thank you, Bezos. Flick, thank you for the prime. I appreciate that. Thank you. Put code here. What code? What code passed me? What code? What code am I supposed to put over here? What does that mean? What is that? I'm deleting this. I don't ever want to look at put code here ever again, man. What does that mean, put code here? What code? I'm going to go pee, man. That's crazy. Man, that comment made my bladder act up. That's crazy. He's gonna need that code now that comment is gone. Well, I'll never know. And honestly, I prefer to be ignorant and not know what the code was. All right, so we have a problem. The dual deagle still appears in the offhand when wielding a secondary weapon. So the problem is... we could probably do this one in the test level, actually. Okay, so... when we equip a different weapon, we still see the deagle. Where? Wait, what? Where? Wait, hold on. Maybe... what if maybe this gun? How about maybe it's this gun? Dude, where is this bug? I can't reproduce it, man. ¿Por qué? I don't... Maybe... Did I fix the infinite sprint yet? I have not yet. That is on my list, though, I believe. It was not on his list. I'll double check. Can infinitely sprint after diving? Yeah. Can you fix my crippling depression? That's unfixable, man. You're gonna have to go to a therapist for that one. Listen, I don't know how to fix that one. Listen, I don't even know how to fix my performance issues and crashing in this game. Do you think I could fix someone's depression? Can't even fix my own. Indie Game Clinic tests people's games if anyone wants to have their game tested. Indie Game Clinic. I like the sound of that's a great name for like a QA company. Indie Game Clinic. The Game Clinic. Maybe when I have the primary equipped... Wait, no, hold on. I equip the primary and then I swap gun. Does that cause it to be visible? No. Okay, this bug is non-existent. It doesn't happen. Maybe I fixed it? I don't know. Someone's got to make the indie game morgue? Listen, man, that's just like... Just look at newest releases on Steam. Why does your character look like BBNO $? I think it's the facial hair and stuff. I think that's what it is. Both hands play the recoil animation when dual wielding. Okay, this is going to be a bigger task because we're going to have to completely change up the animations for the recoil. I'm going to put that at the bottom. Enemies not attacking in certain sequences, like holding the forklift button, door button, L2. Look into the diving anim not starting properly. I want to fix that because I think that's really going to bug me. Why is it suddenly working? Or I think it's suddenly working? I can't tell. I don't know why that's suddenly working. It's very, yeah, it's different from yesterday. It's doing what it should be doing. She had a pencil melee weapon as a $30 DLC. That's how I'm gonna make my money. Hell yeah. Should go down the Marvel Rivals path and put in like thigh physics and just like everything, you know? Yeah. Thigh physics. Other physics, you know what I mean? You know? Yeah. What's with you in thigh physics? I never said anything about thigh physics. I'm just saying, thigh physics. Yeah. You mentioned it last stream? Did I? I'm pretty sure that's just because someone commented about it. I'm pretty sure someone commented about it and I read the comment. I don't know why the diving is weird. Considering you're on UE4, it would be thigh physics. That's really funny. That's a good one. Have you thought about going into a comedy career? Oh, dude, you do great. I left live performance for game dev. I don't know if I would have done that. Strictly game dev stand-up comedy would be a nightmare. No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying that because game dev is ruthless, man. What are those people called that start yelling and stuff and they're like disturbing a performance? What are those people called? Hecklers? Is that what it's called? Hecklers? Is that what it is? Hecklers? That is what it is, what the word is, right? You go from hecklers to Steam reviews. It's fucking brutal, man. It's brutal. You thought hecklers were bad. Just read some Steam reviews on your game. And then read it 4 years later and they haven't updated the negative review and it's just stuck there forever. Like a tainted, like a fucking turmeric stain. It's just never gonna leave. Is it turmeric? Yeah, I think it's turmeric. I thought the title was Fishing Game. I was like, why is there a gun? Oh, Finishing Game. Fishing. Well, I have been asked to add a fishing mini game. So, it's like, could be a fishing game. We could turn it into that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Can you add sex to Sue for Hire? I will say that is one thing that I don't have that our competitor has. There's actually one game that I thought looks really good. What was that game? It was like it was a top-down game as well, and very Miami inspired. What was it called? Does someone know what I'm talking about? One of you guys knows what I'm talking about. Albeit, I don't know if it was in Miami. I think it was in like Las Vegas. I remember I was confused and it was like a Las Vegas game. Las Vegas top-down shooter. That game looked crazy. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of videos that I like, SWAT videos and stuff. Las Vegas top-down shooter game. No, that didn't help. That didn't help too much. Well, actually it did, sort of. Oh god. Okay. Wow, YouTube comment section. Wow, YouTube sucks. Why does Googling sucks? Jackal! That's the one! Yeah. Dude, that game looks a lot better than mine. Like, I gotta admit, it's a much better looking game than mine. On like all facets. Hold on. I'll put the audio, but I'll only put it on Twitch because there's a song in here that I think is copyrighted. Yeah, this honestly looks like a really good game. Next, check Slormancer. Slormancer. Ah! We don't have any of that. This is top-down and isometric. Yeah, but it still looks good. Like, it still looks so much better than, hold on, let me skip the, it just looks, visually, it just looks so good, man. Bro's got a crocodile. I love Sub, but I do feel like it's just Hotline Miami in 3D. Yeah, I guess it is basically just that, in a sense. Sometimes that's all it needs to be. Honestly, I agree. A lot of people are always under the premise that, oh, it just needs to be super unique. I think, in my opinion, I don't think a game necessarily needs to be like the most unique thing ever. I think it just needs to be good. It needs to be good and intriguing and fun and interesting. I think that's just, you know what I mean? That's all it really needs, a game needs to be. But man, the visuals look so much nicer. My game's visuals kind of are all over the place, which I will admit I think is part of the problem. But it's cool, man. Though, man, that screen, that shake. There's a lot of shake. A lot of shake going on. The precinct looks pretty neat. Are we doing like game trailer time now? Precinct. Precinct game trailer. Oh yeah, the police game. Is this GTA 1? Or hold on, let me game called White Knuckle? Why does that sound familiar? That's cool. You could be the helicopter. That's neat. Wait, how do you aim the gun if you're moving your camera around? How does that work? Does it like auto aim? Cool. That looks neat, man. Hell yeah. Power of Cinti assets? I don't know if those were Cinti assets. Maybe a couple of them, but they definitely retextured all of it. Why does that look so stupid? It's the sunglasses clipping his face. Okay, diving. The blend. Why is the back? Why is the back left and back right ones a jump animation? Can I do this? If I open this on the side screen and I rip this out real quick and then I minimize that. No! Okay, what if I make this very small on the secondary screen? Okay, and then I hit play. And then I go ahead and preview our thing. Oh, I minimized it again. Hold on, give me a second. I'm figuring this out. Maybe sidestep dive doesn't last long enough. Can we get a pet goat or a chicken as a follower? Listen, why do you want a pet goat or a chicken as a follower? I need an answer. If you can answer it well, I'll think about it. You gotta do the goldfish, bro. Time to make some food. Maybe see you later. Hey, enjoy the food, Phoenix. Let's see. When does this blend out? When anim diving is called. So anim diving is called, and then we have a duration of 0.35 seconds to blend. What if we increase this to 0.5? Maybe a different blend might be a good idea. So currently it's doing Hermit Cubic, which looks like that, right? But I think we want it to taper off sooner. This is the same curve over and over again. It's not... it's not showing a different curve. Oh, wait, it is. Never mind. It is. I'm wrong. So circular out. Let's try circular out. Here's how that looks. This is like the first time I'm actually like adjusting a curve and I'm actually like keeping an eye on it. God, doing the jumping animation in the start of all of this, very challenging, I gotta say. It's almost like we need a jump animation. Let's try increasing this. Increase the blend time. I think the blend time being increased moves his arm too slowly. Let's try, I want to try something. How do you do bone blend? And then I need an animation. How do I put in a sequence? How do I put in a sequence? Let's find a random jump animation. Preferably one that actually works. I want something that has like that dig down and then up kind of thing. You know what you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, maybe not that, but you know. Wait. Apparently we have one. Where is this being used? It's not being used. Hurt? Common jump start 1 in place. Common jump start 1 in place. Loop animation, no. I do want it to restart when we how do I make this restart when we get in here? I forget how to do that. I think it's inside of here. Always reset on entry. Okay. I think. Oh, right. I didn't blend any of the bones. Maybe I should do that. That'd probably be pretty smart. So let's do spine 0, 1. And then spine 0, 2, we're gonna minus it out. And then let's make sure that the thighs / legs are being affected. And let's see how that looks. Curiosity. Man, I don't think it's doing anything. I don't know if it's really doing much. How can we make the dive look better? The problem is I don't know how long this lasts for. Interrupt speed increasing, interrupt speed decreasing. We've tried completely remaking the animation. I don't know if I have enough time to do that. God, I hate how that resets my slow-mo. Let's try doing this. Let's go back to Hermit Cubic. Whoa. Doing some weird stuff. Whoa. doing some weird things. I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea what he's doing. That's a new kind of jump to me. Never seen a jump like that before. Now you're getting the jump height from the animation? Oh my god, you're right. There's no root lock. No wonder I'm not using this animation. Who the hell? Doing, doing, doing. It doesn't have any root motion. Who made this animation, man? That's crazy. Oh, there we go. The root apparently works just fine. Let's see if that works. Someone should make a parody game where it's like Hitman, but he's cartoonishly clumsy. I honestly think a physics-based game would be really fun. Like a physics-based game would definitely be very, very, very fun. Okay, now let's see if we're doing some weird stuff again. Yeah, well, you know. Can you make games like PUBG? Me? Nah, I ain't the guy. I'm not the guy. You see what I'm doing here? I'm definitely not the guy. I'm far from the guy. I just don't, maybe this jump animations is not it. I feel like this has the crouch. We just need to make this feel better. Reset the playtime. Maybe let's set the play rate to 1:1. Oh, I see why he's rolling, is because he's continuing playing the animation. That could be cool though. Hey, we're doing flips now. Oh! What if I... Okay, now out of curiosity, what if I change the blend time to like 2 seconds so we actually go through with the roll? You know, like now I'm just kind of curious. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Unintended. Unintended. But that's kind of sick. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of sick. What if we randomly... Okay, hear me out. Feature. What if we randomly play like the jump roll? Hear me out. Hear me out. It would look sick if it made sense. Yeah. I know. Doesn't really look too good, but what if? The problem is that... Oh, hold on. Okay. The jumping back looks a little stupid. I think we need a new animation for that. I'm trying to say that, are you able to make a game like PUBG? I can't personally, but you know, anybody, you could do anything, you know, as an individual. It's just down to learning it and whatnot. I would never be able to make a game like that though. That involves PvP and all that jazz. Walliver, thank you for the raid, by the way. Thank you. How's it going? How was the stream? We're doing stupid stuff. You joined at a great time. Joined at a great time. I don't know what we're doing, but we're doing something. We're cooking something by accident. What does that look like in top down? Now, what if I have my original duration, which I think was 0.4? Looks like some Max Payne type action. This is the game. There you go. It's like an action shooter. I would say top-down action shooter, but it's not so top-down anymore. There are other elements to it now. I kind of like the role, but I just don't know when I would play it. Animations would be a lot easier if everything was a sphere. Honestly, so true. So true. Oh yeah, Jixie, yeah. How would I approach learning game dev? I would install a game engine that you think looks interesting to you. And if anything, install a bunch of game engines to kind of just mess around with it, get a feel for which one you might be more attached towards. And then I would just get some assets on Fab. Like if you're using Unreal, for example, I would just get some assets on Fab, import into a random project, and just start playing around with it. And just get used to some of the like editor controls, and then kind of start expanding outward from there. And kind of just take it as a step-by-step process. Might look only good when diving forward. Yeah, diving backwards, it does not work well. So we'd have to... We would definitely have to program this. It looks ridiculous, but it's kind of funny. The game is now sphere for hire, right? Well, our character might as well be a sphere, honestly. He might as well be a sphere. Okay, let's try instead of... There's no way this is a sinusoidal curve. That just looks like the Hermit cubic curve. That's not right. Am I keeping this in the game? I don't think so, but... I don't think so, but it looks neat. Like, it looks kind of cool. It just, I don't know if I like it very much. Reminds me of Specialist. It's funny, I just learned about that mod like a few days ago. Just learned about that mod a few days ago. Okay, if I can get it to look good. If I can get it to look good, we'll keep it. If I can get it to look good, I'll keep it. Like that, we can't let that happen. Whatever just happened there. That little snap there. This blends the arms. Yeah, I don't know if I'll keep the flip. If anything, this is just us toying around with some ridiculous ideas. Let me just... Yeah, generally I usually like to let the players slow down time. And I think we slowed down a little bit, but... I'm just trying to add a subtle roll into the dive animation. Originally, this was just me trying to fix the blend animation. And then it ended up dwindling into whatever we're playing around with right now. whatever we're messing around with now, you know, it's just kind of what we ended up kind of... It looks kind of cool, you know what I mean? It looks kind of cool. Oh my god, I just broke his arms. You think anybody's gonna notice that? Yep. You know, maybe. You know. It looks kind of cool. I just don't know how I would make it randomize. And his arms kind of, you know, kind of breaking a little bit, you know. That's not too great, obviously. It looks a bit buggy, I will admit. It doesn't really look... It doesn't really look like it's meant to be. Can you still shoot in the roll? I think so. Okay. I don't want to waste more time on it. It's cool, but I don't know if I don't know if I want to waste more time on it. Let's move on from this idea. I think it's interesting. It's cool as shit. It would have to be randomized. It would happen like 1 in 10 chance of it happening, but I'd have to make it look good. I don't think it's there just yet. You know what I mean? I don't think it's there just yet. How long do these dives usually last for? Also, the backwards jump kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie, because we don't have like an actual backwards jump. Yeah, I don't really have a backwards jump. Did you animate these yourself? I did not. I did not. I'm a bit of a newbie when it comes to animation. I think I'm better at setting up animation systems than actually animating them myself. And even then, even with animation systems, I ain't even that good either. Feature creep near the release date is kind of crazy. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. You new here? Where would you get these presets? Do they work for Unity or just Unreal? The animations you could if like they're a part of the Unreal Marketplace or Fab, I guess. But I'm sure you could probably export them and maybe use them in other places. You would probably just have to convert it to your character and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go back to where we were originally. So let's see if we can get this looking somewhat good. The idea is I want the start to look a little nicer. Like there's a little bit of start to the dive. Let's try 0.5 for the blend. Especially now that we are actually starting to blend the arms in the start dive, I think. I don't know if I don't know if I like that though. Because I kind of like the arm reaching out. God, I really don't like that backwards jump because it doesn't look like we're jumping backwards. It looks like we're just jumping. Maybe it would look good if we edited that jump. Hold on. Maybe. Also, it might be a good idea. This jump is really bad because we start floating, which is really awful for us. So it might actually be within our best interest to use the other one that I edited, which I think is this one. Doesn't look as pretty. Let's see how that looks. I challenge you to do that jump in real life. I'd probably snap my neck. I'd probably snap my neck. Wait, is the submachine gun not considered a dual wielding weapon? I don't think it is. We might want to change that. Only the neck? Well, you know, at least the neck. I don't know about the other parts of my body, but I'm sure they probably won't be very happy to attempt any of the other things that I'll be doing. Hold on. Here we go. Technically, the Akimbo Deagle needs its own animation set, but, you know, whatever. Let me check that that's fixed. There we go, that's a little better. We have the weapon on our shoulder, at the very least. All right. God, I hate that snapping going on. You guys see what I'm talking about? There's a snap going on when we jump to the left. Not the prettiest thing in the world. Do you use C++ in projects too, or only blueprints? Mostly blueprints, but I do use a little bit of, oh, it might be the force root lock that's causing that. I do use a little bit of C++, but the large majority of it is blueprint. Let's see that again. Why do people shit on blueprint? I don't know. Who cares? That's just all noise. What song is this? This is Midnight Angel, Slave remix, or Slave remix, Slave. Purist, that's all it is. I think people that shit on blueprint on an active basis are just really uncomfortable with themselves. And I think they're just not confident in their own ability, and maybe they're worried about their job being taken away, probably because they're most likely a really shitty C++ programmer. Wait, what the hell? Uh-oh. The front animation's playing a little bit too much. Shit, man, how do we... No, I'm just making assumptions, but I don't know. Who cares? I just use whatever I want to use. It's the same people that have, you know, it's the same thing with people having elitist game engine views and whatnot. Just they're all tools at the end of the day, right? Whatever gets the job done. Curiosity asking, is coding with Blueprint limiting? Or, I wouldn't say blueprints are, like, obviously blueprints have limits. It really just depends, I think, what you're working on. I think you could do a lot with them, but there will be times where you probably need a bit of C++. Hold on, I'll be right back. Sorry, I had a hair in my mouth. That was annoying. Do you get iframes during the roll? I'm gonna add some stuff for diving, but I think during the roll, I think you do during the roll. What I'm curious about is we have dive roll animations. Are those being used for anything, or are they just different animations? I'm pretty sure the dodging is using different animations. Pretty sure those are different animations, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it is a different dodge animation. So what I might be able to do is cut these animations right before anything else happens. A bit destructive, but it would stop us from seeing any of these weird things. Maybe I should duplicate them if we end up doing that stupid silly thing where we have the player able to spin in the air, you know? Oh, man. Unless I can set some notifies here. I don't know if a notify can be sent via a blend space. I don't think so. I guess I could get a curve. Hmm. Let's do this. I think it might be good to maybe duplicate all of these. I don't know if they all play at the same timing though. I wish it showed me the timing of the current thing. That's kind of annoying. It doesn't show me the current time that we're at on the animation that we're playing. So that's really annoying for me to debug all of this. It's very difficult for me to actually get the timings down. Which is really, you know, whatever. Let's do this. We'll set the play rate back to 0. I think it was 0.8 before. We'll set it to 0.9. We'll see how that looks. You're still in the front animation? We're still looking at the dive animation. West Revive with revolvers and shotguns would be a very sick aesthetic and vibe. We have a kind of Western style revolver. We do have one as a weapon already. But obviously we don't have like a Western level or anything like that. If I had the tenacity and wasn't burnt out to kind of get started on something new, I think DLCs for this game could definitely be very much viable. You know, you could have like a sci-fi DLC, you could have a Western DLC like you said. You could have, you know, if it even got to that level, maybe like you could have collaborations or something with companies. I don't know if they'd be interested at all, but... The Matrix DLC! Yeah, you know what I mean? Like... I don't think the game's going to get to that point, though. It looks okay. The left has a bit of a... The left has a little bit of like a snap I'm not a big fan of. All sorts of cool themes like samurais and stuff. Yeah. The thing is though, I think the reason why I'm not driving for that is because I feel like the game has other very big issues that I'm not very happy about.
Shit my pants, you know what I mean? I did.
It has other issues that I'm not very excited about. Like the overall game design just has some issues that I think even if we were to add new levels and stuff like that, I don't think it necessarily solves anything. Like we still have some very fundamental issues that I think are still there. Can I get how long this animation has been? Can I get how long this node has been in play for? Because then I can change the blend weight of this. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Is that possible? Can you get how much time it's been that we've been in this specific animation node? I am using Perforce, Felix. What do I use for my setup? I use DigitalOcean as the server. I use DigitalOcean as the server, and then I just have it all set up through there. Like, I don't know what on evaluate is. It's got an execution pin, which we don't got any of that in animation. Don't know how to use that, but isn't DigitalOcean a bit expensive? Probably. I've heard of tons of alternatives. I have heard of quite a few alternatives. Get time to closest marker. Does that turn off speed? It does. Shit. There's probably tons of other server alternatives. I don't know if AWS would be a cheaper alternative. I've heard of other ones. I just don't remember what they were. I think I'd have to calculate how long we've been in a dive in a separate place, which is really annoying because I would love to just... Oh, let's see this. State wait to sidestep dive. That does, again, break fast path. Get bone position? I don't know if bone position would be what I need here. I basically want this to start at 0 and then go to 1 while we're inside of the sidestep. But doing that removes our speed thing. Because ideally, I'd want this to blend in, not be instantaneous. Oh wait, we got a curve blend. How to blend the layers together. Let's do normalize by weight. I don't know. I don't think that would work. I don't think that actually like does anything for us, but whoa. I think this is playing some weird animations again. Let's do this. Remove this for now. Remove that for now. Start dive. God, it's really annoying that I cannot see. I can't see when this ends. Drive animation speed by blend input position. I don't know what that means either. Is this game releasing to the Wild Republic Aqua Water? There's a lot of words going on in there. I don't know what any of them mean. What the hell does that even mean? To the Wild Republic Aqua Water. Google it. All right, you gonna make me Google it? The Wild Republic Aqua Water? It's a little shitty plastic DS kind of game. I feel like I've had this when I was a kid. I had one of those when I was a kid. Something inside of me says I think I had that when I was a kid. Shitty? Hey, listen. It looks like just straight up plastic, like that's gonna cut your fingers. Okay, let's be real here. It looks like it's gonna cut your fingers at any point in time. Okay, I think what we should do is make a folder for start dives. And let's go ahead and we're going to copy every single one that we have here. So we have forward, left. We got right. Got left. We got 45. 45. And we got 315. And for some reason, we're not using 225 and 135, which is weird. But I'm going to copy them. I'm going to paste them in here. I'm going to rename them. Otherwise, we're going to be in a world of hurt trying to figure out which one's which. It's really funny that this takes such a long time to rename when it doesn't have any references to anything. It takes a solid like 3 seconds. Me complaining about 3 seconds. So is the game releasing to the Wild Republic Aqua Water? Unfortunately, I don't think it is. In fact, it's also like not releasing on the Switch. So like that, if that says anything, I don't know if it does say anything, but I don't think I would release this game on the Switch, probably because it would probably set the Switch on fire. Admittedly, I think it would probably set it on fire. Oh, I see. These animations, we can't use them because the character turns around going backwards. So that doesn't really help us. Okay. So we got 5 animations, which is kind of funny because I feel like we had way more than these. Let's go to Start Dive. And we'll do Start Dive FL. Start Dive left. Start Dive right. Start Dive 45. Start Dive 315. And those are the ones that we want. It is supported on the Steam Deck. It does work on the Steam Deck. I do have to do a test with the beta branch to see how it's feeling on the Steam Deck. I haven't played around with it on the Steam Deck in a while, just to make sure everything's running well. But everything should be running relatively well, if not better, because I've been optimizing some of the levels. I think I've been optimizing them. Sometimes it's a bit random. All right. I don't get it. Why is Start Dive forward left? Where is forward? I guess it's just forward left? That doesn't make any sense. Is this helpful? Let me see. Yeah, unfortunately the time remaining ratio node, I believe is only inside of transitions. I don't think you can use it within the I don't think you can use it within. You can get timer remaining. That's a different thing. I think that's only something you can get inside of a transition, unfortunately, which is really, really, really annoying. Sadly, it is what it is. That's how the cookie crumble. Maybe in UE6 there's more tools in here for it, but am I going to add suit for hire NFTs? Do I look like a kind of guy that does NFTs? Don't answer that. I don't even want to hear your answer. I'm going to go drink some water, and I better not see any answers to that question. Yes? You're wrong. You're wrong. Soy take. All right, so now the next step is we need to take our start dives and we need to cut it where the character starts rolling. So I think we're probably going to cut it like at the 0.4 second mark. Like ideally, I think we'd want to start it a little bit earlier, but just for safety, let's start with 30 frames. Let's start with 30 frames. Is this game inspired by my real life? Yeah, I do this every day. How many frames did I said I'd start with? I already forgot. 30. Yeah, I go outside and this is what I do. See, the character's like already rolling in the forward animation, so we might want to like cut it off here. Let's do this. And then in the left animation. This is all mocap. I mocapped it myself. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff. I think I would genuinely break a bone. If I even attempted any of this, I would die. Something would snap, or I would sprain myself. Okay, so we changed the start dives. The left, for some reason, is still snapping. Do you guys see that snap? Could it be the camera? I don't think it's the camera. It does. It looks a lot like the character. I do think one thing that we could improve with the third person, I am looking at it now. When we're diving, so let me well, it's a good example, but when we're diving, the right shoulder, like our character's all of a sudden down here. Our camera should be like moving with the shoulder, I think. I think that would be a really nice camera improvement at the very least. Like here, look at this. Like over here, our screen becomes filled up with our character. I feel like our screen should be like a little bit more this way. I just don't, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how to do that in a really clean, seamless way. I think we'd have to make the camera a separate actor. I'm going to add top-down to the game. Now we've gone full circle, huh? We've gone full circle. We really have gone full circle. Yeah, it looks okay. I think the blend-in animation is playing now. For some reason, it wasn't playing in that one time we were playtesting. First person? I don't think I would ever do first person, even as a DLC. I think it completely defeats the identity of the game. Just that would definitely not work well. Third person made sense. First person, I think, probably wouldn't make sense, to be honest. I wish we had a better animation for that jump. And maybe we could. Like, we could duplicate the animation, bring it here, and then, like, have the character kind of, like, rotated. We could rotate him to kind of make him jump in the direction that we want him to jump in. It wouldn't be, like, a perfect animation by any means. But, it'd be better. Let's see how this looks if we blend in the arms. Oh yeah, it looks buggy, man. It does look very buggy. And I have no clue how I would go about blending that over time. Holy animation blueprint? It's not that bad. There's probably worse. Maybe we could set a variable of how long we've been jumping for. Can you add Adderall to the game? Man, at that point, just play Max Payne. If you want to be like a drug addict or something. Isn't that the story of Max Payne 3? He kind of like becomes... What is it? What is it? Painkillers? Is it painkillers? Is that what he's taking? It is painkillers, right? Yeah. I don't think I would add Adderall or painkillers to the game. How can I get a start dive? I wouldn't mind a start dive, because then I can just calculate the starting point. Hold on, let me see where this all goes down. Man, I don't care. It would have been really nice if I had just something really simple just to check how long we've been in this animation. It's like not worth it, man. Like, we could get time to the closest marker, and then I can set up some markers in here, and like that could... That could work, I guess. Ah, whatever. Who cares? We'll unhook that for now. In the future, if I have extra time, I'll put in the dodge, roll, flip animation in the future, because I do think it would still be very cool. Let me try setting this time from 0.9 to 1 again. I think that's because we didn't cut that animation soon enough. I think that's what's going on, is it is playing that. So I think we can, let's go ahead and cut these frames. Wow, not like that. Let's not do whatever that was. Okay, this is no longer working. Remove from frame 24 to frame 29. It's for some reason not showing the frame counts anymore. I thought that it just deleted all of the frames. Hi, Grim. After much consideration, I think this game would work better as a turn-based RPG. Can you just go and pivot the game to that? Just add some leveling systems, some stats, and some skill animations, and you're golden. Brother, I got the game for you. Have you heard of John Wick Hex? Have you heard of I'm trying to think of some random game. Baldur's Gate. I'm sure you would love Baldur's Gate. God, it's so weird how it just deletes the entire thing. Like, I just don't see the frame numbers at all. Delete those frames. And delete those. And let's see how that looks. Will there be workshop support in 1.0? I can't guarantee it, mainly because I don't know how I could get it to work. Because I have no clue how... Yeah, I don't know how I'd get it to work. Still aiming to finish in April 2025? Yeah, April 6th. That's today. Right now. Our intended date of completion. Man, I gotta make that crunch sound, like the bone breaking, way more prominent. That animation, for some reason, has a camera snap. I don't know if you guys see that. I think someone reported it. I gotta figure out why that's happening. So now that we got the dives kind of looking okay, they're not the best thing in the world. I think there's some improvements we can make, but yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm looking at that shadow that the player character is emitting. I don't like it. Indirect shadow. Let's set that to 0.8. The enemy was moon dancing for a moment. I do have to... I've been focusing so much on the characters' animations. I feel like I should start focusing a little bit on the enemy animations. God, that backwards jump animation, man. Hold on, I'm reading your message, Maltello. Actually, our game has shotguns, by the way. Wrong. Somebody suggested to me that we just add co-op multiplayer as a DLC because AI can do that pretty easily. If you don't, you're just lazy, and single-player games are just for poor crybabies that live in mommy's basement and spend their money on Twitch. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't have shotguns? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That's me? You wrote that message, Scotty? Hey, good work, man. I just wouldn't listen to those messages at all. I wouldn't even take them seriously. I think at that point it's just a meme. You know what I mean? I think at that point it's just a straight up, just a meme. Just be like, yeah, that's cool, man. Anyways, can you write a positive review? Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep, I punched that door down. All right. God, we've been stuck on this one thing for like way too long, man. Just because I started going on a tangent, or like just started like looking at random stupid shit because the character we toyed around with the thing for too long, and then I started rolling in midair, and I was like, "Whoa, that's so cool!" And then we wasted 30 minutes on that. Oh, Slormancer. Do you have the link for the trailer, Phoenix? God, my teeth are kind of hurting. Enemy can shove right after being grappled / pushed. I swear I thought we did something about that. But maybe we didn't. Slormancer. Let's take a look at Slormancer from the Slormite Studios. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Slormancer. Oh God. I can't tell what this game is. It seems like an ARPG. It seems like a... I can't tell what it is. We got gold value, we got items, and then we got upgrading items. It somewhat reminds me of MapleStory for some reason, because there's so many stats, and also the UI seems very similar to MapleStory. Which I guess is also a bit like Diablo, or an ARPG. A piece of toasted. Yeah, it's like Diablo and Enter the Gungeon, I guess. Is there fishing? Probably. Let's continue the trailer. Do you have... I really don't like these title cards, man. The Schlormencher. Yeah, it's cool. It looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool. Hold on. All right. I had to use my little thing for my teeth. I don't know if my thing is right is in all the way. Yeah, it looks interesting. I think the trailer is just a bit is structured a bit weird. I think that was about it for me. Where's our shove going on? Play shove, can attack. For some reason, that's not working. Let's go to here. Let's go to can attack. Throw velocity. Let's also make sure that we're not grappled. Because we're... Oh, wait, we do that right there. Why is he playing the shove animation then? We have a problem where... the enemy will play the shove animation when they're not supposed to. Let's make it abort itself. That doesn't sound right, but that's what it... That's observer aborts. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. This is what it's called. I don't know. Let's see. If there's shove animation here, yes. Let's make it abort. Does the shotgun enemy have a shove? I don't see one. Does the stun enemy have a shove? I also do not see one in here. So I think that's fine. Let's get the grunt in here real quick. That's the one that was doing this. Go ahead and just override that. So why is he... He's still attacking when we've grabbed him. Oh, it's not aborting. So maybe that's part of the problem, is he's not aborting. Maybe that's what's going on. He's stuck in the state. Let me delete the dummy. In fact, actually, I want to keep him. I'm just going to bring him over there. So let's wait for him to attack, and then we'll grab him. Maybe it aborting is fixing it, because I guess he was stuck in the attack state. Okay, my grab didn't work. I think I fixed it. I think that's all it was, is that Kakapipi, what the hell, man? I don't know. Aborts both. Let's abort both of these. Ah, man, I don't know what's going on. I think when an enemy gets grabbed, we should remove their token. So that they don't have permission to attack again. Either that or in the attack swing, we check if they can attack. It's a bit of an extra process, but you know, such is life to fix a bug. It almost looks like he's playing the animation. I think we broke him. We broke his Actually, why is he broke? What happened to him? We broke his spirit. He's just we broke his spirit. He's just Let's do can attack first. Let's do can attack first. Let's do can I would love to do can attack. Okay, or maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, we check can attack first. Man, I don't know. It does kind of look like he's preparing an attack, though. But I think we fixed it. I think we fixed it a little bit. I don't know, man. Yeah, right here. Enemy can shove right after being grappled / pushed. I'd like to make sure that that is working. Oh yeah, how are you doing, Sass? All right, let's see if we can fix the infinite diving issue. There it is. Let's fix that one next, because that's a pretty big problem. That's a pretty big problem. Let me just go to the bathroom. Let me be right back. And then we'll continue on that. I think I only got like another 20, 30 minutes, and then I gotta go. But I'll be right back. All right. While I was in the bathroom, I realized what I did wrong for that specific bug. In my head, I was picturing the code. You guys do that? When we start a sprint or draining stamina, we call the drain stamina, or we call start stamina regen. I think this is being called when we stand up. Right here. There it is. There it is. Let me also find references to the drain. Are we clearing the timer when we... Should go to the bathroom more often. Yeah, that would be a good idea, huh? Player movement mode. Equals sprinting. Okay, so let's see here. We sprint, we dive, we land, we let go sprint, then we start, and then we start sprinting again. I think the problem is that we let go of sprint, and that's not being read. And no wonder. How can I fix this? Bathroom only keyboard when? Imagine, man. It also happens when we're sidestepping. So, let's see here. Does not equal sprinting. Wow, I don't think we check if we're holding. So I think something that's problematic is we're actually not keeping track of the player holding this down. That I think is part of the problem. This right here is also part of the problem, which is ridiculous, but what would be a good idea here? I guess we can do a Boolean that checks if the player wants to sprint. Right? I think that might be a good idea. There has to be a better way of doing sprinting. Like, this is ridiculous. This is stupid on its own. Like, I wonder if we just put toggle sprint in here. What happens if we, I'm sure there's a bug pertaining to this. I don't know, man. I do see the stamina going down while we're in a roll and not sprinting, so I guess that's kind of annoying. Pixel Shake, I just learned about that mod recently. I think you're talking about specialists. I did not know that mod existed until recently. Man. Okay, so this player movement mode is kind of annoying. I actually think combining diving and the other states with the movement mode is actually kind of not a good idea for us. So we definitely don't want the player to override it. It's almost like we need to check what the next state should be. Where is the end roll? Here's the end dive. We set to running. I think I figured out a good, clean way of doing this. I think I figured out a good way, clean way of doing this. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a tag for holding sprint. We're going to create a tag for holding sprint. Then in the sprint system, we're going to add and remove that tag. And that should allow us to know if the player wants to sprint or not. And we'll always play this no matter what. Having sprint be a modifier or state? Yeah, well. Because of this system, now we're getting annoying bugs. I'm actually kind of surprised. Can we sprint while we're at 0 stamina? I don't see anything pertaining to that. There's nothing in the system in here that checks if we actually can start sprinting. Weird. Weird. Okay, so instead of us directly setting to running, we're going to create a new function called, let's just create a function actually. We'll call this set desired locomotion state. Set grounded locomotion state. Okay, so is this my own system or an asset? Everything in here is my own stuff. So there's a lot of fuckery everywhere. It's a lot of bullshit everywhere. So we're going to check if we have holding sprint, and then we're also going to check for other states similar to the system over here. I actually want this to be in a different spot. I'm going to do this. This is a bit stupid. Because we have a toggle sprint system, and I don't want to release this until we've toggled it. Let's see here. Hold on. Okay, so we check if we're toggling sprint. If we do not have toggle sprint turned on, then we can remove the tag. Something we'll want to do is remove the tag here. So this is the toggle right here. And I think something we want to do, because we want to be on brand with all of this, let's do stop sprinting. So that way it would start and stop. Makes sense. Now I can read the code a bit better. The code makes a bit more sense to me now. Never got used to using tags. It always blows my mind in a wonderful way. I'm not even using them at their like top level. You know what I mean? There's so many other things you can do with tags. I'm basically just using them as booleans, right? Instead of having a million booleans in here, which I still do have quite a few, I'm instead using this as just a library of booleans. That makes the code feel a little bit cleaner. But you can see, like, look at all these. Like, I still have a ton right here that I can definitely just convert to using this gameplay tag container, but I'd have to switch up all the code to that, which honestly, I just don't really care for. But there's so many other things you can use tags for. Cooldowns, a bunch of stuff. It's crazy. I don't know how to do any of that stuff yet. No clue how to do any of that stuff yet. So set grounded locomotion state, we'll put that in movement. If we want to sprint and we're not doing any of these, we got to make sure that we're not doing any of those. Otherwise, we cause the bug that this is attempting to fix. So if we are not holding sprint, oh, we could put this in here and then we could just do reset movement speed, and that might actually just work. And then we just use the tag. Da-da-da, or we stop the sprint timeline and then we set the movement speed from there. And then we do stop sprinting. Okay, so if this is false, we're going to do stop sprinting. If this is done, start sprinting. So now, I actually don't know how this is working. Neither do I know. Oh, walking and running. Okay, that's just, which honestly I should probably fix. It's probably not the best thing ever, but so specifically I need to go to end dive which is right here. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to call that there. What I would like to do, start stamina region, okay, is I think we should set the grounded locomotion state. When we start sprinting, do we end the regen? Oh, interesting. When we start sprinting, it doesn't seem to end. Let's check out stamina tick drain. Let me make sure that that's... Is that clearing the timer? I don't know if that's clearing the timer. I'm actually kind of confused. Where do we call the stamina tick region? When we dive? We, oh, every time we drain stamina, we re-clear the timer, the tick regen. So then why am I, why am I trying to read that from the end to dive? Huh. That's a bit odd. I guess because we're immediately starting the regen after the fact. Let's try this instead. We're going to set the grounded locomotion state. Should start sprinting or stop sprinting. Let's see if that works just fine. So let's do this. We need to hold sprint, dive, get on the ground, let go of it, and then get up. Okay, we're going to hold it. And then get up, and we should start sprinting again. Okay, I think we fixed the bug, and I think everything is still fine. Well, it would be a smart idea to make sure that we didn't break anything. In the tick, we should print to screen the movement mode that we're currently in. So then that way I can be certain that we're doing this correctly. So currently we're in running, we're sidestepping, we're diving, running, sprinting, diving, rolling, sprinting. Nothing seems to be... Nothing so far seems to be messed up. If anything, it seems like it's working pretty well. You can see in the top left corner, it's kind of dark, so you might not be able to see it, but... I just noticed one thing, actually. When you're rolling, you can override the sprint. So basically anything that's not these top three, I'm starting to think this movement mode would have actually benefited from not being inside of this enum. I think these should have all just been grounded to states rather than like rolling and all this other stuff. I think that would have been the play. Are we still fixing the jump? No, we're fixing an infinite stamina bug. Which should be fixed now. Now it should be fixed. Okay, and now it should be fixed. That's so stupid. Okay, so let's make sure that when we're rolling, we can't override it with sprinting, but when we end the roll, we go directly into sprinting. So I'm walking, but my character is still defined as sprinting. And I think that's in the stamina drain stamina. Stamina tick drain. If the current stamina is less than or equal to 0. I think I know what's going on. Or maybe I don't. Hold on, let's see here. So the problem right now is that we're still calling sprinting. Still calling sprinting. I think what's going on. I actually don't know why that's happening. This technically, if the stamina is less than or equal to 0, stop sprinting should technically be called. But for some reason, it's not. Let me disable this real quick. When we're just normally sprinting, does it get set to running? Let's see. Is there still a possible way to see the blueprints to C++ and change stuff directly in code? I'm relatively new to game engines, and my background's 8 years plus back and development in .NET and Java. Is there a possible way to see the blueprints in C++ and change stuff directly in code? Yes, yeah. Because all of the blueprints are essentially C++ functions. They're just exposed. So I could, let's see, let's go to my function library. So for example, or actually, let me write it here. Is actor in viewport. This is one of my functions that I created. So this is the blueprint function. It's got input, output. But if I double click it, I can read my own C++ code. And here it is. So you can definitely see all of it in C++ and whatnot. Or right, hold on this. And then in the it's taking a while to load. If I go to the header file, I can see the declaration of that. So is actor, what was it? Is actor in viewport? I think that was the one. Yeah, so this is the declaration. As long as it has blueprint pure or blueprint callable, this kind of stuff. I think because it's a blueprint function library, there's some other stuff there's a ton of different, like I forget what these are called, but yeah, you can kind of see this is in C++ code, and then this is the C++ code, and then we're just basically, we got the input of actor and the output of bool, and yeah, so they're very, like, all of the blueprint nodes are essentially just C++ code behind the scenes. That's basically all it is. Am I going to put this as a template on Fab? My entire video game that I made as a template that has a bunch of other marketplace assets associated with it? Probably not. Probably not. No, I don't know. I don't think so. Hold on. Why is it that it's not setting the sprint? It's not resetting it back to running, even though we have something here that will literally set the player movement mode to running. But then we have the... Oh. Oh. We need to check if we have the stamina to do this when we reset the movement speed. Stamina... If it's more than 0. We can check these two auras, that's fine. And then this should reset it. Should set it back to running. And then the stamina can come back up. You would have to re-click the sprint button, but the thing is, if you originally, what would happen is that you wouldn't even be able to sprint. It would just keep trying to sprint and immediately eating the stamina. IWALS, he sells his work as a template, but it requires you to buy assets to use separately, but it still works without them. Though it feels crude. Yeah, I don't know. I worked hard on this game, and I just don't want to sell it as an asset, because then people can just make games that just seem like my game. I do plan on making assets, like some blueprint assets, but it's going to be more like editor tools. I have some ideas for some editor tools that I'd like to make, which I'm probably going to make after this game, just to kind of break up things a bit. Man, the AI is really stupid. What kind of editor tools? I got a couple ideas. One of them is making a tool that instead of you having to scale something from the pivot point, you like click on it and maybe it does like a scripted action, like something like that. And then it creates a bunch of different selectable points for you. So like one in the center here, one over here, one at the bottom, and then one on the front and one in the back. And then that way, instead of you dragging from the front, instead you can drag from, you know, drag it while everything else stays in its spot. I think that would be a good start. And then kind of going from there. I wouldn't mind that. Now, like, obviously you can do alt left click and then scale things like that, but I'd rather have like something that I can keep messing around with. And possibly something that can snap. I wouldn't mind that too. Something that can snap would be pretty cool. So, like a 3D modeling tool? No, not like a 3D modeling tool. Well, I guess like a 3D modeling tool. Instead of you selecting all the verts or the face, it would work off of the box bounds and then just do that. I don't know if that's in UE6. I'm sure there's maybe something there in UE6 for it. There might be. But yeah, that's one of the things I'd like to make. I'd like to expand upon the wall generator a bunch. Now, I'm sure Geometry Script might have a better option for that. But I wouldn't mind just making something, expanding upon this, going further with it. You know? Going a bit further with it could be kind of neat. I do think it'd be a kind of a cool thing to maybe expand upon. I don't know how much value it might have, but I think I would. I think I would just end up making an editor tool plugin, or not tool plugin, but just an editor's tools asset would mostly just be me making something for myself, and then on the side, hey, let's just sell it, I guess. Like that'll probably end up being the next thing I end up doing. Okay, so infinitely sprinting should be fixed. Should be fixed. Yeah. Have I been inspired by the Hong Kong massacre? I would say this game is inspired by a ton of different things, a ton of different media. Movies, different games. Yeah. Our stamina's not regenning. Uh-oh. And I think I know exactly where that's happening. If we set to running, we don't have anything to reset our I think it's this. Starts stamina regen. Let's see if that works now. Okay, I think that's working as intended. I think I broke something. I can't double, I can't, I can't double dodge while sprinting. And that's problematic. So let me see where sidestep is. Adjust next movement state. I had a function for this? I had a whole... I didn't even have to make set grounded locomotion state. Yeah, I do have a meeting in like 4 minutes. Adjust next movement state. And we, oh, instead of using a tag, we just check if an action mapping is down. Let me try cutting the reset movement speed. It's like playing it and then not playing it. Let me just add it as a bug because we fix one bug and break another one, and I'm really stupid. That feels really bad. That sucks. We had this whole function for all of this, and I didn't even notice it. I guess that's just how the cookie crumble, I guess. That's just how the cookie crumbles, I suppose. Let me see if I can really quickly finish this in the next 2 minutes. It's weird because it is draining the stamina. It's just canceling it. Weirdly enough. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. What about making a horror game? Is it easy? I don't know. I don't know what making a horror game is like. I've never made one. But I'm sure it's challenging. I'm sure just like any game, it's probably has its challenges. All right. That's probably right here. But even then, wait, hold on. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for lurking, chatting, sticking around. I'll see you guys then. We're getting very close to done. Besides the fact that I fixed one bug and caused 3, that's not a good time. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. See you then.